warning before you listen. This epic is not for children, nor for the faint of heart. We retell the ancient Greek myths as they were born, unfiltered, unsoftened. Scenes of violence, curses, betrayals, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. Given the many conflicting versions of the Titan War, the events have been rebuilt to complete the missing pieces. Here, we tell the myth as it was meant to be told. Sources and references are listed in the episode description.
Chapter 28. From War of the Titans, Clash of Weapons and the Fall of Time. Rage without a shore. First blood in the Battle of Thessaly. When gravity tastes blood, and the sea is summoned to drown in revenge. The grinding of stones echoed as if the mountain itself was laughing, followed by a deep hum from beneath the earth, then a long exhale from a mouth unseen. Thessaly was no longer a land. It had become a stone altar, and seated upon it, a Titan, Crius. He stood at the center, not speaking, not moving, only gazing at the sky, as though he were daring it to collapse upon him. He was alone, but the ground beneath his feet could have spoken for an army. His power did not live in fists. It breathed in the laws of the cosmos. He could slow time on one half of the valley and speed it up on the other. He could crush a mountain beneath his heel, then raise it skyward as a blade forged from pressure and silence. With him stood his legions, the inescapables. 400 sentient stones, walking gravestones that pulled gravity itself from their enemies' lungs. The heavy blades, 300 titanic warriors, each wielding a hammer so immense it only rose when death was guaranteed. And Seragon, lord of Earth's shadows. He gave commands in silence. He was the one who made sand forget it ever knew water. That morning, a scouting unit from Olympus arrived, the Seer's Wing, 50 deep riders, 40 water sorcerers. Their mission? Test the edge of the battlefield. But what they found wasn't an edge, it was a breathing abyss. Crius struck first. Quietly, he raised his hand, and their bodies grew heavy, as if the weight of the earth's history pressed down upon their bones. Their blood moved too slow to flee. One by one, they collapsed, buried by the very air they tried to breathe. The stone soldiers rejoiced. Seragon said, "None will follow them. Zeus never sends more than one lamb to the altar." But they did not know. The sea never sends its messengers twice. A deep rumble tore through the stone, as though the earth was vomiting up its own secrets. From behind the ridge rose a wave. Not water alone, but the spit of an ancient fury.
And at its heart, Poseidon, trident in hand, face carved like a shore that had forgotten what calm ever meant.
He walked across the sand, and the sand moved aside, afraid to touch him.
"You crushed their bodies," he said, "but I've come to drown the mountain."
He struck the ground with his trident. A quake erupted beneath Crius. It wasn't an earthquake, it was a proclamation. This battle would not whisper like the others. It would scream like a storm that lost its name. Thunder leaked from the deep. Water slithered beneath the soil, and the ground no longer obeyed. Crius spread his arms wide.
"At last! The sea walks toward me. I will bend the wave before it speaks."
Drums pounded beneath the mountain. Cracks split the crust. And then screams. Thus ended the morning, and the collapse began. Poseidon entered, and the mountain, opened its eyes to face the sea. This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why. We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.